Hello, welcome to the Reading Sprints. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hello, everybody. Happy Reading Sprints. Happy Saturday. Hope you guys had a good week. Yeah, it's Reading Sprints Day. I like that. So what is everybody reading today? I'm going to be reading, I think, a book called Assassin's Apprentice, which is a Robin Hobb fantasy that I should have read before I read Ship of Magic. But I read Ship of Magic first, so now I have Robin Hobb fans mad at me going, you need to go back and read that one first. You're not supposed to start there. So, but I'm going to read it because it's just set up for lore and stuff that they hint at in the other book, so I should probably read it. So I'm going to go back. Ooh, pirate books. That's awesome. Get back to pirates. Pirates are always great for summer reading. Tales of Ravenloft, the Wailing this time. Okay, that sounds spooky. Tom Robbins Fierce and Village Home from. Okay. You have to let me know what that's kind of like what their setup for that is. It sounds like it's an interesting topic for the Tom Robbins. I haven't read Tom Robbins before. Awesome. Yeah, it is a very good title. Fierce and Village Home from Hot Climates. That sounds very interesting. It really does. It's a very good title. All right. So I hope everyone's having a great weekend. If you want, you can let me know, like, what you have any fun plans, anything like that before we get started. Kind of do a little bit of a little chit chat before we start reading. So we know what everyone's reading. I'm probably going to be reading the Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, even though I have other books I'd kind of rather read at this point, but I do need to go back and read that if I'm going to continue with the series that I want to read. So I'm going to read that. And this weekend, I might end up going out for to go to the used bookstore and go and get a milkshake somewhere or something on my own, just to kind of like treat myself type of thing. Fearless Storyteller, Spiritual Renegade, and Verbal Break. All right, that sounds awesome. Verbal Break Dancer. That does sound awesome. Yes, milkshake. Milkshakes are I love milkshakes in the summertime. Like, I can't get enough of them. All right. So I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. And we will go ahead and get going. 20 minutes, still good for everybody? Oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna check out their new digs. That's great. Then, I didn't know there was bookstores that were for specific genres. Maybe I've only lived in places where you either had Barnes and Noble or big chain stores, or you had nothing. So, so that sounds awesome, though. Like, I wish more bookstores would have some of that, where they would have genre specific themes. That would be cool. All right, I'm gonna start the timer. We're gonna 1, 2, 3, I didn't do it. There we go. And go. If I'm looking at the screen the whole time, that's because I'm reading on my Kindle on my computer. So I keep talking what's going on. So that's why. All right, everybody. That was our first 20 minutes. How did everybody do? What did you guys think about what you were reading? I was reading The Assassin's Apprentice. It was very much an interesting start. Very poorly for everyone involved, yeah. A lot of books are like that where you're like, this just looks so fun, but this is not going to end well. Like that, Shira. I have mine with The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and basically it's like they find there's this 6-year-old boy dumped at this command post for the prince's army. And the man's like, yeah, this is the prince's bastard. He's 6 years old. He's gonna take care of him now. I want nothing to do with them because I want my daughter to remarry, and my daughter won't as long as she has this child at her side. So they just dumped the 6-year-old kid at the command post for the prince to take care of, and the prince isn't even there yet, so he never met him. So like he just has these soldiers just like looking after the poor traumatized kid. Yeah, sometimes the short story, Charles. Sometimes the short story writers or short stories, it feels like they're much more comfortable writing novels, and they try to make a novel into a short story, and that's not how you do it. That's not how you write a short story. So I get that that's frustrating. Oh, that sounds so much fun, Megan. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Psychedelic drug using CIA agent going to the South America to release a centric grandmother's aging parrot. I love it. But why would they release an aging parrot? The poor thing's not been out in the wild. That sounds like a terrible idea. Sounds like an interesting premise, though. Yeah, so far it's just a setup. I got to see the map of the world for Instance Apprentice, and we're getting to know the character very slowly because the main character is this little boy, and he's 6 years old at this point, and they're going into like what's happening to him. So and that is fun. That's always good. I love rediscovering an old read that you liked, and you're kind of rediscovering it as in a different point in your life. So it almost feels like you're reading it again, but for the first you're reading it for the first time again. So I like that's always fun. That's why I'm almost afraid to reread the Harry Potter books, just because it's like I think I would be much more hypercritical now as an much older reader than I was like 25 years ago. So I don't know. I understand, but I think that's. I'm glad it's fun. And I know short stories, Charles, with the short. Yeah, that is a problem when people don't know how to write short stories and they try to write them like a novel, and that's not the same thing. Yeah, that's true. That is true, Shira. All right, are we ready for another 20 minutes, or are we good? How are we feeling today, everybody? I'm having fun. Um, Robin Hobbs is known for the slow burn, so it's very slow burn at this point. Start out with your naming your character 6 years old. Okay, one more. All right. Let's do it. Go. Timer is on. Let's go. All right, that was the end of our 40 minutes or 20 minutes that we have, 40 minutes altogether of reading. How are we doing? How do we like what we were reading? Did the short story get any better? You still enjoying the books that you're reading? Basically, this is a very big setup chapters. So it's just all about a young boy named Fitz, who is a bastard to a king that had to abdicate the throne because of it. And now he's disgraced, his father's disgraced, and his father wants nothing to do with him. So he's basically on the streets with beggar children who have turned to thievery to survive. He's learning all of that. He has a puppy with him named Nosy, which I think is going to be an animal companion throughout the story. So it seems like kind of fun so far to set up a lot of setup about the politics in the world. Okay. Well, at least it gives you a little bit more info about that character that you liked. So that's good. Yeah, once you know about how bad jungles are, you don't want to go. Like they're pretty to look at from afar, but being in a jungle and trying to live in a jungle, no, no, bad, bad, not good. Yeah, it's hard when you have a unlikable character as the main character. It is very hard, and some people thrive on it, right? Grim dark readers, they love those unlikable characters who do despicable things and just turn out once in a while to do something that kind of helps out. Some people like thrive on that kind of story, and uh, they're hit and miss for me sometimes. Yeah, that's a good question, Shira. I wonder if that too, whether they're gonna redeem them or not, or whether they're just gonna keep them as, you know, likable. And sometimes even if they try to redeem them, like, does the reader actually agree? Like, does that redeem them or not? That's kind of a fun conversation to have about a book. Okay, so it's just something that they're thinking about that you're kind of like, you're that's not good thoughts, dude. Or so it's not really something that they did. Okay, that makes sense. So, I mean, everybody. I think it's like yeah. I think it's one of those things to where um we should all be glad that we're not mind readers. I think everybody has the problematic thoughts. It's just our way. That's just human nature. And then sometimes we have to like it's our character and how we were raised and our own, that can like shift through those thoughts and be like, yeah, that's not good. Nope. You know. So maybe it's a good way of looking at that. Is just saying, yeah, these are just kind of things that make them more realistic. I mean, yeah, and sometimes they are extreme to show that. Like, not, I mean, there's some things that, most people wouldn't think about, but they just show it in an extreme to kind of get you to like think about, like, I wonder if there are some thoughts that I have that people will find problematic and that I don't act on. And I know are problematic and bad thoughts and just shift them away and then forget about them. We don't want to draw on those thoughts, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point, Shira. I hope so too. I hope that the character ends up being good at the end. Somebody you can still root for, because everybody wants characters to root for. Yeah, that's why I haven't read what, like, on all over BookTube, everybody's has read and it loves the first Law trilogy. It's a fantasy and it's very grimdark. It's like the epitome of grimdark, and I'm like, they say the characters are great. They're very flawed and they're bad, but they're great. And I'm like, I don't know. I'll probably give it a shot. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's true. That does depend, like thought crimes, and whether you think that that still makes you a bad person if you have those thoughts. And yeah, they did your own. I guess your own thoughts on that too. That's good. I'm glad they're fun. That's good. Megan, I'm very glad they're fun. All right. So how are we feeling? If we want to read some more, or are we good for the day? It's 12:30 now, so it's been about an hour altogether. Almost 12:30. Do we want to do one more, or are we ready to just kind of continue with our day? Okay. She doesn't want to get things done. That makes sense. I probably have some things to do too. So either way, like if we did another 20 minutes, that would be fine. But if you guys need to go, then that's fine too. Going until we feel like ending. Oh, I understand. Yeah, you want two more so you can finish one story. That makes sense. All right. Well, I think we're going to call it here. And let me know if there's other things that if you would like another day, another time before we go. If Saturdays at 11:30 are working, because I mean we have our core group that is doing this, but do you think there might be a better time for everyone where we could go longer and you might get more people to join us? What do you think about that? I know this has been working for us pretty well, because we could just kind of go for an hour or two if we want to, and then we have the rest of Saturday to go. So, I mean, that's how I think about it. But if there's something better for you guys, let me know. Like, I don't know if you want to do, more Saturday evening, um, like after dinner or something, do nights. We could do a second session at some point if you let me know what you want to do. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I know you have D&D on some Saturdays, so you cut into it. I'm glad you could join us. I'm glad everyone was here today. Last week was a little lonely, so I'm glad people were able to make it today. Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense. I get really, because I get up so early normally. Like today, I really slept in. I don't even know why, but um, yeah. The evenings are kind of bad for me too. My brain turns off at night because of my teacher brain, my schedule, the way my schedule normally is. So it's like by 8 o'clock, my brain's just like, yeah, you might be able to like play a mindless video game or something, but other than that, don't expect much. All right. Well, have a great rest of your day, everybody. And I hope that you have a great Saturday. And I'll see you guys hopefully next week at 11:30. Keep reading, and let me know when you come, on Facebook or Instagram where I put this up, or where I had the announcement about it, about whether what you read, what you want to read this week, and anything like that. So happy Saturday! Bye, everybody.